Hello everyone, here is my top 15 for the most anticipated turn-based combat games for 2020. Make sure you leave a comment and tell me which game are you most hyped about. If you want to learn more about any of those games, then I have a short video on every game listed here. Ram Pressure is a free-to-play, tactical story-driven online multiplayer game, combining the turn-based combat of XCOM with a deep, well-grounded sci-fi setting. I am not a fan of free-to-play games, to say the least. Way too many times this model was abused, but at least anyone will be able to try it out for free and make up their mind. The game looks good, and developers promise us a deep plot and unique storyline built on both single-player and multiplayer missions. And the game is made by Russian developer GDT. Anyway, this is the only free-to-play game on my list, and I thought I should give it at least a chance. How about exploring a vast open world in the first-person view? From creator of Exiled Kingdoms, 4-dimension games, which is a one-man indie studio, comes Archaelund, where players can explore the world in first person, and when combat starts, the view seamlessly changes to a top-down perspective in a strategic turn-based combat. Your characters evolve over time, from squires, hunters, beggars, to knights, lore seekers, assassins, battle mages. If you prefer vampire setting mixed with empire management, then Immortal Realms Vampire Wars might be just what you are looking for. In its core, it's a turn-based strategy game set in a dark vampire world that combines lightweight empire management with old-school turn-based combat, along with some unique card mechanics. The campaign mode will focus on revealing the lore behind the three clans, while the sandbox mode will let you play against the other clans in a more open world. There's also a skirmish mode where players can set up two opposing armies and battle it out. Zoria-Age of Shattering is a story-driven party-based RPG with strong tactical elements, pace and follower management. The gameplay is a mix of action-adventure RPG and tactical management, developed by tiny Trinket Games, a small indie studio from Bucharest. Your companions come from 8 different classes, with branching skill and upgrade trees. Developers currently are working on a demo that should be available in about a month or so. Urtuk. The Desolation is a tactical turn-based RPG in a dark fantasy setting, with survival elements and open-world exploration. Turn-based, tactically rich combat on large maps with multiple environmental factors and a carefully crafted class and skill system with procedurally generated survival campaign. Players can extract character upgrades directly from fallen enemies. These custom abilities can totally change a character's role in combat. The campaign has several zones, and the player needs to beat each zone by defeating zone's boss. Have you ever wanted to manage a gladiator guild? In the pit Broken Bones, you become a slave master and will manage your gladiator puppets, train them to fight battles for life and death inside the arena. It's a turn-based tactical game set in a dark fantasy world, developed by Creative Forge Games located in Poland. You might know them from games like Hard West, Phantom Doctrine and Ancient Space. Use Forge to craft a wide range of items, the wizard shop for magical improvements, and buy slaves from the trader. The objective in Solasta Crown of the Magister is somehow to mix Baldur's Gate and XCOM. Turn-based tactical RPG based on the system's reference document 5.1. In Solasta, you take control of 4 heroes, each with unique skills that complement one another. Players will create their heroes just as they would in a pen and paper game, choosing their race, class, personality, and rolling for their stats. You make the choices, dice decide your destiny. Climb, jump, evade, or surprise foes from above or below. Position yourself on high grounds to start the fight with an advantage. Solasta was backed by 6,000 fans on Kickstarter and raised $270,000 in September 2019. Realms Beyond: Ashes of the Fallen is a classically inspired fantasy role-playing game with tactical turn-based combat in an open-world setting and a party system that allows you to control up to 6 characters with full character customization ranging from 7 different races and 8 different classes. More than 100 spells, each with unique, stunning visual effects, an epic storyline, massive quests, uncounted missions, hordes of monsters, and a world that is filled with lore and mystery. The game raised on Kickstarter €134,000. Gears Tactics is a fast-paced and uniquely brutal turn-based tactical strategy game set 12 years before the first Gears of War game. Immersive and character-driven story with customizable squad and equipment and massive boss fights. Prepare your troops to face tough enemies, upgrading their skills and outfitting them with loot collected in challenging missions. Story-driven campaign with 40+ hour gameplay. The game will not have multiplayer modes or microtransactions of any kind. Empire of Sin puts you at the heart of the ruthless criminal underworld of 1920s Chicago, when sale and import of alcoholic beverages was banned. It's a strategy management game with turn-based combat sequences similar to XCOM, where you control one of many semi-fictional mob bosses from gangster history. The ultimate goal is to take down every other boss and dominate the city. The main idea that sets Empire of Sin apart from other management sims is a deep and autonomous character interaction system where NPCs can suffer and benefit from a long list of passive and active effects. We also are promised living and breathing city, and I'm yet to see a game that actually delivers that. Dark Envoy is an upcoming turn-based strategy game set in an open world filled with dark fantasy and will feature atmospheric and rich story. It will be a non-linear RPG where players' choices really do matter, and with deep tactical combat, rewarding experimentation and clever approach to each engagement. The non-linear story and large pool of quests, plus the fact that most locations will be procedurally generated, should add a lot to replay value. Inspired by the likes of the Divinity series, XCOM, Faster Than Light, Mass Effect and Dragon Age to offer free world exploration in real time with a tactical turn-based combat. Apart from solo, the game will feature online co-op and PvP, as well as split-screen shared PvP. This is the only naval game on the list, sadly, as I enjoy these kinds of games. In Port Royale 4, players set sail and join the colonial powers of Spain, England, France and Netherlands in their fight for supremacy of the Caribbean in the 17th century. The game features 4 extensive single-player campaigns following each nation. Establish and manage trade with 60 Caribbean cities, select from 50 buildings and 18 historically authentic ship types. For the first time in the series, naval battles will be turn-based, with up to 10 ships battling at one time. What a year for turn-based RPG and strategy games, if Xenonauts 2 are only third on my list. The game is very much like original XCOM, with real-time geoscape, intercepting alien aircrafts, technology research, base building and of course turn-based tactical combat with persistent soldiers. Players take control of the organization battling an alien invasion in this deep and challenging strategy game. Developed by Gold Hawk Interactive, this is a sequel to Xenonauts but deeper and better, with much wider tech tree. The action takes place in the modern day, but in an alternative timeline. The geoscape has been significantly expanded since the first game, with the intention of giving the player more choices to make and offering them more freedom. The game raised £191,000 on Kickstarter in mid-2018. Maybe I'm biased, and probably I am, because I remember playing original King's Bounty in the early 90s, or because I enjoyed the rebooted version from Russian developers in 2008 and 2009, but I really would like to hope that King's Bounty 2 will be as good as I remember it. It's a turn-based, tactical strategy game set up in a fantasy world of Antara, with a whole new, non-linear narrative and deep RPG mechanics. Players travel the realm from a third-person perspective, picking up quests, exploring the wilderness and getting to know the people they meet. When combat starts, the perspective shifts to tactical turn-based combat, and the battlefield directly reflects a specific part of the world map that they are. The game introduced new tactical features to the series, such as line of sight or surprise tactical events mid-battle. King's Bounty 2 isn't going the early access route and will be released to PC and for the first time to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I bet you already knew which game is my number one. But of course, the RPG series that pioneered the post-apocalyptic genre returns with Wasteland III, where it takes players from the radioactive heat of the American Southwest to the perpetual nuclear winter of Colorado. It's a squad-based role-playing game from inXile Entertainment, featuring challenging tactical combat, hours of exploration, and a deep, reactive story full of twists, turns, and brutal ethical decisions. Play solo or co-op with a friend in a story-driven experience as you create a squad up to 6 rangers, and customize them with perks and abilities geared to your playstyle. You even get your own battle truck, the Kodiak, that you can upgrade into a hardened war beast. Wasteland 3 will be released on May 19, and you can play it on PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Thanks for watching my top 15 of turn-based RPG strategy games of 2020. This really should be a great year for all turn-based game fans. Now, make sure to leave a comment telling me which game you are most hyped about. Thanks and see you soon.